Hello everyone, welcome to another video on Linux. Now in this video I'll be talking about the compression and archiving. Now the compression and archiving are the most two functionality that are always used interchangeably. Most individuals see this compression and archiving offering the same functionality, but actually they are two different functions. But first, the compression is simply the use of mathematical algorithm to shrink or make files smaller. So this will reduce the size of the file on the disk, which will be also very important in transferring this file from one system to another. On the other hand, archiving is simply a smart way of taking multiple files and directory from the file system and putting it into a single file. Now where this find its functionality mostly is when backing up a system, where you just carry all the files and directories in a particular system and put them in a single file called the archive. Now the command that I'll be using in carrying out this task is the tar or the tar command, and just like with other command on Linux, I'll advise you to take time and check the man page of this tar command. So I'm on my command prompt here. I'll enter man space tar. Now this is the man page. So if you open the manual page of the tar command, you get everything needed to know about the tar. So you can see there is an archiving utility, and you get to see other usage of this command. So scrolling down, use either enter key or space bar from your keyboard. So you also have an example that shows you how you can go about using this tar command. Example is this. You say tar space dash cvf and you follow with that. Depending on what you want to achieve using the tar command, you have a bunch of options to go with. So scrolling down, you see all of those information there. So alright, let me quit this man page. Now there are a couple of things that I would like to show you in the example of the tar command. So let me go to my desktop, say cd space desktop, and if I list the content of this desktop, I will see that I have these files, file 1, file 2, file 3, all .txt. These are the files that I would like to use in this example. Now in the desktop directory, I'll create another directory called lab, and I'll use this command mkdir space the name of the directory, which is lab, and then I'll try to move the files to that particular directory, say file 1, and I'll use mv. I made a mistake and forgot to enter the target directory. So alright, now if I check, use the ls lab, and I will see that those files are already in the lab directory. Alright, I am on my desktop directory now. I will list, say ls. Now the content of the file, the directory that I want to archive here is a lab directory, and inside the lab directory I have this file 1, file 2, file 3, .txt. So I will use the command tar dash zcvf. So the dash z is just for zip, and the dash c there is for create, and the v there is a verbose. It's an option that provides you with all the output as it is happening in the background, and then the dash f allows you to specify the file name. So in my case here, I'm using the text.tar, which is tar.gz. gz is the format for the archive. Here I'm using the file name of text.tar or text.tar.gz. gz happens to be the file format. So I'll enter the lab, which is the directory or the target directory. So I'll hit enter from my keyboard. Yes, okay. Now this happens as a result of the dash v. Now because I use the dash v option, now I happen to see all this stuff that happened in the background. Supposing I did not use the v options, I'm not going to see this. So now those are the output, the file 1, file 2, file 3. Now if I check the desktop directory, Using the ls, I can now see the text.tar.gz there. So I have successfully created this archive. Now I can move it to a directory that I want, say maybe document. I'll use this command mv text.tar.gz, and then I'll enter the destination directory, which in this case is a document. If I go back to the document directory and check, say ls, I can now see the text.tar.gz, which is my archive. Now the other option or command that I would like to show you is also the tar, but in this case is a way of unzipping or decompressing this file. So I'll use the tar space -z. Now if you remember, in the first option I used the -c option, but here I'm using the -x option. So the -c is for create, and then the -x option is to decompress, or to open up that particular, or to open up the target file. So here I'll use the F to provide the file name, which is text.tar.gz, and then I'll hit enter from my keyboard. And because I did not use the -v option here, I do not see anything that was happening in the background, so I just see blank prompt. If I check the document, if I use the ls, I will see the content of that archive, which is lab. So you see it there. If I go back to my lab directory, I can see the content of that directory, which is the same content as our initial lab directory that was created in the desktop. So here I get to see the file1, file2, file3.txt, everything intact. So that is how to decompress using Linux command line prompt. So in this video I talk about the compression and archiving, talked about the differences, and I showed you how to create this archive and how to decompress using command line. I hope you learned something from this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.